So it's week 7 and the Carolina Panthers have a bye week. They're sitting at 4-2. So right now, I'm going to give a state of the franchise since we're about halfway through the year. We're at our kind of midway pit stop, you know what I'm saying? Just want to talk about and assess how far we've come and where we are as a team and as a franchise all around, from coaches to players to ownership. We're starting right now. What up, dude? What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Back again with another Panthers video. And on this channel, I get recap and analysis of the Carolina Panthers. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button below and give the video a thumbs up too, because I'm dropping all kind of Panthers content, man. So you got to hit the bell icon and the subscribe button. That way you don't miss any videos and it's going to send you a notification. But hey, real quick, down below in the comments, I'd like to get you guys feedback. Let me know what you think about the franchise as a whole and the team as a whole right now. We're sitting at 4-2 right now in a pretty good spot. We've won 4 games in a row. Let me know what you think about the team overall as a whole. So these first 6 weeks have been a pretty mixed bag because we started off 0-2, losing some close games to the Rams and to the Buccaneers, but we peeled off 4 wins in a row. A lot of this up and down has to do with injuries from the quarterback position and the offensive line as a whole. The franchise quarterback Cam Newton revealed that he was hiding a foot injury that he suffered in preseason. We knew he suffered it, but he kind of hid how bad it was in the first couple games, and he didn't like himself. He was playing pretty bad. Had he been healthy, we probably would have had a chance to beat some of the teams in the first 2 weeks because they were still close games, even though we lost. And he finally sat himself down. We all know about Kyle Allen, the backup quarterback, stepping up, the undrafted free agent coming in, getting 4 wins in a row. We beat some one decent team and some other mediocre teams, but Kyle Allen has been exactly what we needed him to be. He hasn't been anything too great. He hasn't been anything bad. He's run the offense. He's been efficient. He hasn't made mistakes. Most importantly, he hasn't lost any games. It's one thing we needed him to win games, but he pretty much hasn't done anything to lose us any games. So that's the best part, because the way our defense and Christian McCaffrey is playing at running back, everything is pretty good. You just can't wreck the key. We give you the keys to the car. Just don't wreck the thing. And that's exactly what Allen has done thus far without throwing an interception and without suffering a loss in his career thus far. So many will blame Cam for his injury. Many will blame him for lying about it. But me personally, I'll blame the organization and the coaches for giving him so much leeway to kind of call his own shots when it comes to what he's going to play through and what he's not willing to sit him down. And just for years, him having to carry most of the mediocre talent around him. So now that he actually has talent around him, he doesn't realize that he doesn't have to do everything. He can kind of sit back, relax, and let the playmakers do what they do. And that's exactly what Kyle Allen does. Kyle Allen hasn't really trying to be outside of himself. He's kind of just delivered the ball to the playmakers and let them do the work and not make any mistakes. But the constant has been Christian McCaffrey, an MVP candidate. This guy's been carrying the ball a lot more than anybody in the league. He leads the league in all-purpose yards and touches, and he's playing probably a ton of snaps. They talked about trying to get him less plays this year, but it hasn't really happened. We saw in the run game he cramped up all our hearts and our butt. I guess that what, like Cam Newton said, our butts got tight because we were very nervous about what was going on with Christian McCaffrey. You could kind of feel our season slipping through our hands with him tightening those. That's what we were worried about. He's not a very big guy, but he carries a lot and he plays a lot and he's pretty tough. But we finally saw him cramp up and it was kind of nerve-wracking. We did see Reggie Bonifant, the backup running back, get in there and break off a couple good runs. So we're wondering why don't they take more carries away from Christian McCaffrey and put in Bonifant just a little bit, just to give Christian McCaffrey a little bit of break. That way he can make it the whole 16-game spiel, because we know how important he is to our offense. No matter who's at quarterback, he's the ultimate safety net. He's the one thing that makes this offense go. But the sad part is, since we do have a backup quarterback, it's not like Christian McCaffrey is going to have any slack. He's going to keep getting more and more carries. But the thing about having Cam Newton at quarterback, sometimes he can take about 5 or 6 carries from Christian. That way Christian's a little bit fresher down the stretch and for all 16 games. So that's the difference you get from having Kyle Allen and Cam Newton. But I want to talk about the offensive line because this has played a factor. We saw the offensive line when Cam was in there with Darrell Williams at left tackle, who we was kind of skeptical about coming in because he never had any left tackle experience, and he pretty much got exposed by Shaq Barrett. He got hurt with Trey Turner getting hurt, We had to quickly move him to right guard, and we put in our rookie left tackle, Greg Little, who actually shined pretty well in the first action he had. He did miss some time with concussion protocol early on, came back and had a pretty decent game. Now he's back in concussion protocol, so now we're like trying to throw our hands in the air, trying to figure out what's going on. But the great thing about us, we drafted a 6th-round pick, Dennis Daly, out of University of South Carolina. He has filled in admirably. He was the highest graded left tackle in his first start against the Bucks. So I'm really proud about what we did and with the drafting we've done with the depth. We like to draft versatile offensive linemen that can play multiple positions. That's why you see Darrell Williams actually doing pretty well at right guard, even though he was playing left tackle starting the year, and he has most of his experience at right tackle. So we've held up pretty well, and the only injury has been to Trey Turner, who's been probably our most longest standing offensive line with the team right now, and we'll be getting him back hopefully after the bye week. But for now, the way they've been holding up, it looks pretty well. They're going to have people want to talk about the quarterback controversy. We may have a left tackle controversy for right now between Greg Little and Dennis Daly if they keep playing this great. But there's never too many good offensive linemen. Like, you can never have too many good ones, because in this league, with a lot of guys only blocking the zone blocking scheme and like basic college concepts, it's hard to develop good quality offensive line. So when you have good depth, it's a good thing to have. On the outside, our young weapons in DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel have pretty much had an up and down season also. They've exploded in some games. Some games they don't get a ton of action. It kind of just varies depending on Kyle Allen. That's the same thing with Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen has had games where he went for 100-something yards. He's also had a game where he didn't get a catch, or he only had like 2 targets. So it's been kind of up and down. You kind of never know who's going to have a good day or who's not. Not too great for fantasy purposes, but great from an offense perspective. When we have that much balance and not having a number one bona fide receiver, the defenses don't know exactly who to key on. You try to crowd the box to get up on Christian McCaffrey. We're going up the top to DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel. You want to double team Greg Olsen in the middle. It's going to separate and let everybody get outside for Christian McCaffrey on screen routes or dump offs. So we have a good combination of guys that can all bring it at a certain particular time. But like I said, Christian McCaffrey is the engine that makes everything go, and he's pretty much where we butter our bread. The only question going forward is, how does Norv Turner evolve this offense for the amount of time that Allen has left? Does he try to take some carries away from Christian or take some usage away from Christian? Because Christian is a tough guy, but at the same time, after having probably over 400 touches he's going to have this year, it's going to be hard to see what's going on for the future and for the rest of this season in general, because this guy's carrying the mail for us. And like I said, he's not that big, but he is the best running back in the league. So I like what we're doing with him, but at the same time, I'm really concerned about his usage thus far. I want to see Norv Turner put in a game plan that's going to take some pressure off of him and get some of the other young backs involved just to give Christian a little bit of break. So that'll be the make or break for our offense going forward. So let's transition to talk about the defense here. So the pressure was on coming into this year, obviously, with Ron Rivera kind of being on the hot seat. There was rumblings about him probably being out of there last year. Didn't really happen. A little bit last year, he took over the play calling duties and put his reins on this defense. And with the pieces that we've added in the offseason, this thing has been beautiful. Ron Rivera has finally got back to the bread and butter of what he did to get the head coaching job. He was always a defensive mastermind and good at calling plays, when he was in Chicago and in San Diego, calling those plays. So Ron Rivera's got back to his roots, putting his fingerprints all over this defense, and has been paying big dividends. We changed to a multiple front like we talked about. Some games we run a lot of 3-4. Some games we run some 4-3. It just depends on the matchup, who we're going against, and it's paid a lot of dividends. With the depth we've added up front with Gerald McCoy and Brian Burns and Bruce Irvin, it has been great. We're leading the league in sacks right now. I know we have a bye week, so we'll probably get passed by the Patriots, but right now we're 2 sacks up on the Patriots. We have one of the top total defenses, and of course we're up there in turnovers also. This is a recipe for success, because with a young quarterback that's inexperienced on offense, getting a lot of turnovers per game is going to give them short fields, allow them to take pressure off, because you're giving them advantageous field position. And a lot of times you're already in field goal position. That way you make it easy to score, give yourself a lead. And when you give yourself a lead, you can dictate the game yourself compared to having to be off balance. When you know that they got to pass because they're playing catch up, you can get after their quarterback and pin those ears back with those young guys. Speaking of the up front, I've been very impressed. We know we lost probably our best D lineman in KK Short, but we've had guys like Vernon Butler, our former first-round pick, actually step up big time. We all thought he was a draft bust. Not we all, maybe I know I will say that. I thought it was a draft bust. But this guy has really been playing well. They've been talking about how violent he's been with his hands. That'll be the biggest difference. Really using his hands to keep blockers off of him and getting to the quarterback and making plays. We saw him have 2 strip sacks in his past game against the Bucs, and it was a beautiful thing on back-to-back plays. Our rookie, Brian Burns, we knew he was going to be pretty good once we saw him in that first preseason game. I don't know if we thought he was going to be this good. He has 4.5 sacks, a block punt, plenty of pressures and tackles, and he's the highest rated defensive rookie, and he's on pace to win that award for defensive rookie of the year. So I like the pick that we made. We got great value from an edge rusher there, and obviously Gerald McCoy finally made his splash play against his former team. I've been very happy about that. But the biggest surprise to me is that 11 guys have registered a sack. That means you can't really key on one guy. Even though Mario Addison is our leading sacker, he didn't even have a sack last game against the Bucs because we just come from everywhere. When you have that many guys getting to the quarterback, the defense, the offense cannot key on who to come from. They don't know where anything's coming from. We blitz some, but we haven't been as blitz heavy as normal because our front 4 guys have been able to get there, and that's a beautiful thing. That's going to make it easier for our coverage. And the coverage has also been working good too. They've been locking down. They've got a lot of turnovers. Ross Cockrell, Dante Jackson, and James Bradbury, all 3 have multiple interceptions. And that's crazy because Ross Cockrell is a backup corner, and Dante Jackson he's missed the past 3 games. So to show the depth that we had, you got to give credit to Marty Hurney because the way this defense is set up, we've looked great. Between Shaq Thompson and Luke Kuechly, they have been one of the best dynamic duos of linebacker in the league. And we've said that before because we had Thomas Davis. But now that Thomas Davis is gone, Shaq has finally stepped up, and I like what I've seen from Shaq. He's really impressed me, and in a contract year, he's doing a lot to make a statement that he should be here for the long term as a Carolina Panther. They both have really been feeding off each other, and the more they play together, the better off they're going to be. Luke Kuechly has just been Luke Kuechly, leading the league in sacks. Tackles, getting interceptions. He already crossed 1,000 tackle for his career yard mark, the fastest player to do that since 2000, and everything's going as good. I know we've really been trying to worry about that third linebacker position, but Ron Rivera has been using Eric Reed, who's pretty much an oversized safety, almost like a Cam Chancellor, putting him up in the box, blitzing him, using him in different ways, and having a lot of versatile guys who can do multiple things. So I love what I'm seeing from Ron. I like the creativity he's been using, especially in this age where offense is pretty much key. But going down the back stretch, the schedule does get tougher. We have quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan on the schedule, and it doesn't get easy, guys, like I said, because we haven't been tested as much. We have faced a good quarterback like Jared Goff and Deshaun Watson, but everything else has been pretty basic. So it'll be different games we get in where the defense may not have a great day. How can Kyle Allen react to not being able to have a lead or not having a defense that's just really dominating the game? Because our defense has been dominant so far, but what happens if they get into a game where they can't dominate? So we'll see what happens if Kyle Allen can win different types of games. Can he make a comeback victory? Can he win a shootout? If we have to go in a shootout against Aaron Rodgers, what will happen in those games? You know what I'm saying? The first biggest test is going to be coming out of the bye week with San Francisco. I don't believe in their offense that much, but they do run the ball great, so our defense will be tested there. But their defense is one of the best in the league with that young front with a bunch of first-round picks. They're going to be trying to get after Kyle Allen, so we'll see what the offensive line has with where we are and who's going to be starting there. And we'll see what Kyle Allen has. We'll really get to learn about what happens. As far as the quarterback position and this controversy, do not let the national media manipulate you guys into thinking that we have to be divided. I think with the political climate with Donald Trump and other stuff with people being so either this or that, everything has to be black or white. You can be a fan of the Carolina Panthers and support either quarterback, and don't let the national media distract you. They're not talking about us winning 4 games in a row and possibly being the hottest team in the NFL. They're talking about this quarterback controversy because they want to tear us down. We never get good respect when it comes to the national media, so ignore that crap. Don't fall into the trap. Focus on us being 4-0 in these past 4 weeks, man, getting these 4 wins because they've been great team wins, no matter who's playing quarterback. So do not let them steal your joy. Panthers fans, we're 4-2. We're in a good spot, but we got to keep it going. We know we started 6-2 last year. We had a meltdown down the stretch, so don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Let's take it 1 week at a time. Keep piling up wins. Keep pounding. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Like I said, you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about where the Panthers are right now and what you think about the second half of the season after our bye week. What do you project and expect from us going forward? So without further ado, I'm signing off. Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. I'll see you next time.